unpopular opinion, because those are the only opinions I have, it seems. Being a kid is hard. Now, I think what happens is because nostalgia is an interesting thing, I think nostalgia gets in the way and it warps our perception of our entire life. But being a kid is hard. And if you're an adult, which I hope you are, there should be no children. But if you're an adult, I want you to realize for a second that you should be happy that you grew. All the time, I think I'm so glad that I got older. I really think we've got it a bit twisted with this whole like, I wish I was a kid again. Did you forget about school? Are we just gonna sit there and forget about school? Are we gonna sit here and pretend that school is better than work when it's actually not? If you think school's better than work, I think you should start looking for another job. Very soon. In fact, right now. Indeed is right there. Indeed.co.uk. Find a job. McDonald's is always hiring. I remember sitting in class and being like, even if work is bad, at least I get fucking paid for it. I don't get paid to spend however many hours in this building listening to la, 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 getting nothing. I got absolutely nothing for it. I got nothing, not even any valuable knowledge for the most part. So kids, you're forced to go to school. You're forced to abide by your parents' rules. They see you as, someone like to instruct, which you are. Humans are programmable, and especially at a young age. So, parents are there to teach. But the problem is, a lot of the times with parents, it's, the child is often not seen as an equally valuable participant in the conversation. Like if the child has something to say back in response, it's why you're chatting back to your elders. Children aren't allowed to have their own opinion. Children aren't allowed to feel angry or sad. Adults get angry at kids all the time, unnecessarily, and adults get angry at kids when they don't deserve it. Adults take their anger out on kids because they're the easy target, because they're not allowed to stick up for themselves. Let's not remember, lest we forget, about how hard being a child is. Misunderstood, alone, scared. Maybe not alone and scared, but misunderstood to a T. And, it's not adults' fault, because most adults are not really taught how to properly have a conversation with a child. And it is hard. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's not hard to get angry at kids sometimes, because kids are annoying. I never said that. But, it's hard to be annoying, I guess. I don't miss being a kid, and I can confidently say that there's amazing memories, and I was gonna say there were positives, but my life is so much better now than when I was a kid that I can't even think. I didn't have to pay for stuff, I guess. I didn't have to, but that's not even a big deal, because I would so much rather be working and making my own money than sat in school for hours and getting nothing for it, having to come home with more work to do, homework. So why am I going to school if I have to go home and it's not even my free time? Like, at least if you have a job, you can go home, relax, play video games, read a book, ground, do whatever you want to do. And it's like, I guess I'm a very free adult, you know? No kids means no responsibilities, really, apart from myself, looking after myself. But kids are a choice, and you should not go into having kids without being equipped. Obviously, it's not always an option or a choice for people, and I can understand that. But if you have kids, make the best of it, because being a kid is hard. And you know, I think a lot, like, adults need to actually have more grace for children. You have so much freedom as an adult. What can you do as a child without permission? Like, what can you actually do? Like, I remember being scared. Like, so I was like, oh, like, I want to go to town with my friends, you know, but I don't ask my mom. Like, it's not like my mom's like a scary villain, just so you know. But like, you know, like, remember just little things being scary. Like, do you not remember getting to an age where you started to have freedom and it was like, wait, I'm an individual and I can make decisions. Like, I don't need to ask, can I have another packet of crisps? You can just get another packet of crisps. That's why being an adult is great. And obviously there's downsides, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the struggles of children here. So I guess there is no moral of the story. It's just me speaking my opinion. But it's great to realize your freedoms and even, you know, adults, they're less easily manipulated. Like, when you get older, you get wiser, you learn more. Like, remember being in toxic friendships as a child, and like, you know, you couldn't have known, because you know, it was the beginning of your life. You had to learn these things. Like, I feel like the hardest things were as children, and because you have such a like less lack of understanding, you know, I'm trying to fucking say, that, you know, things just seem so much more intense as a kid. You've not learned like self-love and respect yet. And being an adult is great. And we all just forget that. We're like, oh, I miss being a kid. And like, actually remember for a second what it was like to be a kid. Like, do you actually miss that? Do you miss being forced to go to school? Like, do you actually miss that? Really? You might miss playing out with your friends, yeah, but like, you can still do that. No one is stopping you from skipping in the park. Like, I still go to the park and go on the swings because I love the swings. Like, why would I stop doing that? I feel like people miss being a child because they forget that the things they enjoy doing as a child they can still do, but they choose not to do it because they forget. You know, so many people stop playing video games when they get older, or they stop going to the park when they get older, or they stop doing arts and crafts when they get older, and they stop doing these fun things that you are actually fully capable of doing as an adult. You just choose not to because you just forgot. If you have a child in your life, just please try and appreciate them, and please try and see them as an equal, and let them feel their feelings and validate them as a person, and, you know, realize that they are a person, an individual with different opinions to you, and not everyone's going to agree with you. Just because they're a child doesn't mean that they're going to agree with you, and they're not as moldable as you think. But yes, they are programmable, so be careful who you are around them, and be careful what you teach them, and be careful what you say to them, and always show them love. And that's that. It's very simple.